Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences, and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World Tsunami and Awareness Day, which is celebrated every year on 5th November. Lessons from the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami for the next generation. On December 26, 2024, 2004, an earthquake in the Indian Ocean caused a devastating tsunami that tragically claimed the lives of around 230,000 people and affected 14 countries. This event marked the first major global disaster of the 21st century and remains one of the deadliest in the recent history. The lessons learned by the survivors, such as recognizing the warning signs of a tsunami and the importance of seeking high ground, had been engraved in their memories. However, as we approach 20th anniversary of the disaster, a new generation who either experienced it at a very young age or were born after the event can benefit from these lessons that in order that the older survivors have learned. This year, World Tsunami Awareness Day theme aligns with the inauguration International Day for Disaster Reduction and the Summit of the Future, focusing on youth and future generations. The activities planned for the observation aim to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the Indian Ocean tsunami by passing on its lessons to a new generation of children and youth. UNDRR is urging countries at risk from tsunami to update evacuation routes, install new warning systems, and raise awareness among children and youth. They encourage youth and learning institutes to play and learn from this Stop Disasters online game to understand how to save lives during disasters. In 2022, the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, UNDRR, launched Get to High Ground campaign to promote awareness about reducing the risk of tsunamis. The campaign encourages citizens to participate in drills, runs, or walks along tsunami evacuation routes, which help communities prepare for the natural disasters and build their resilience. These events are inclusive and engaging. They involve all people in raising awareness about reducing tsunami risk. Tsunamis can be deadly, but they need not be. Early warning and early action are effective tools to protect people, saving lives and preventing the hazard from becoming a disaster. To be effective, tsunami early warning systems must cover every at risk person. They must be multi hazard, and communities must be prepared so that they can act quickly. In December 2015, the UN General Assembly designated 5th November as World Tsunami Awareness Day, calling on countries, international bodies, and civil society to raise tsunami awareness and share innovative approaches to risk reduction. World Tsunami Awareness Day was the brainchild of Japan, which, due to its repeated bitter experience, has over the years built up major expertise in areas such as tsunami early warning, public action, and building back better after a disaster to reduce future impacts. UN Disaster Risk Reduction, UNDRR, facilitates the observance of World Tsunami Awareness Day in collaboration with the rest of the United Nations systems. Tsunamis are rare events, but can be extremely deadly. In past 100 years, 58 of them have claimed more than 260,000 lives, or an average of 4,600 per disaster, surpassing any other natural hazard. The highest number of deaths in that period was it in the Indian Ocean tsunami of December 2004. Just 3 weeks after the international community came together in Kobe, in Japan's Hyogo region, governments adopted the 10-year Hyogo Framework for Action, the first comprehensive global agreement on disaster risk reduction. They also created the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning and Mitigation System, which boasts scores of seismographic and sea level monitoring stations and disseminates alerts to national tsunami information centers. Rapid urbanization and growing tourism in tsunami prone regions are putting over more people in harm's way. That makes the reduction of risk a key factor if the world is to achieve substantial reductions in disaster mortality. A primary goal of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015 to 2030, the 15-year international agreement adopted in March 2015 to succeed the Hyogo Framework. So, what are tsunamis? Tsunami, the word tsunami comprises the Japanese words su meaning harbor and nami means wave. So a tsunami is a series of enormous waves created by underwater disturbance, usually associated with earthquakes occurring below or near the ocean. Volcanic eruptions, submarine landslides, and coastal rockfalls can also generate a tsunami, as can a large asteroid impacting the ocean. They originate from a vertical movement of the seafloor with the consequent displacement of water mass. Tsunami waves often look like walls of water and can attack the shoreline and can be dangerous for hours. with waves coming every 5 to 60 minutes. The first wave may not be largest, and often is the second, third, fourth, or even later waves that are the biggest. After one wave inundates or floods inland, it recedes seaward, often far as a person can see. So the seafloor is exposed. The next wave then rushes ashore within minutes and carries with it many floating debris that were destroyed by the previous waves. Let's look in detail, in brief, about what are the causes of tsunamis. As already discussed in brief, earthquakes, it can be generated by movements along the fault zones associated with plate boundaries. Most strong earthquakes occur in subduction zones where an ocean plate slides under a continental plate or another younger ocean plate. All earthquakes do not cause tsunamis. There are four conditions necessary for an earthquake to cause a tsunami. The earthquake must occur beneath the ocean or cause material to slide into the ocean. The earthquake must be strong, at least magnitude 6.5 on the Richter scale. The earthquake must rupture the Earth's surface and it must occur at shallow depth, less than 70 kilometers below the surface of the Earth. The earthquake must cause vertical movement on the seafloor up to several meters. A landslide, which occurs along the coast, can force large amounts of water into the sea, disturbing the water and generate a tsunami. Underwater landslides can also result in the tsunamis when the material loose by the landslide moves violently, pushing the water in front of it. Volcano eruptions. Although relatively infrequent, violent volcanic eruptions also represent impulsive disturbances which can displace a great volume of water and generate extremely destructive tsunami waves in the immediate source area. One of the largest and most destructive tsunamis even ever recorded was generated in August 26, 1883, and after the explosion and collapse of the volcano of Krakatoa in Indonesia. This explosion generated waves that reached 135 feet, destroyed coastal towns and villages along the Sunda Strait in both the islands of Java and Sumatra, killing 36,417 people. Extraterrestrial collisions. Tsunamis caused by the extraterrestrial collisions like asteroids, meteors, are an extremely rare occurrences. Although no meteor asteroid induced tsunamis have been recorded in recent history, scientists realize that if these celestial bodies should strike the ocean, a large number of water would undoubtedly be displaced to cause a tsunami. United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the marine realm is the largest component of the Earth system that stabilizes the climate and supports life on Earth and human well being. That's why the UN proclaimed the Decade of Ocean Science for Development from 2021 to 2030 to support efforts to reverse the cycle of decline in ocean health. Today, we are also commemorating International Day for preventing the exploitation of the environment in war and armed conflict, which is celebrated and commemorated every year on 6th November. Though humanity has always counted its war casualties in terms of dead and wounded soldiers and civilians, destroyed cities and livelihoods, the environment has often remained an unpublicized victim of war. Water wells have been polluted, crops torched, forests cut down, soils poisoned, and animals killed to gain military advantage. Furthermore, the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, has found that over the last 60 years, at least 40% of all internal conflicts have been linked to exploitation of natural resources, whether high value resources such as timber, diamonds, gold, and oil, or scarce resources such as fertile land and water. Conflicts involving natural resources have also been found to be twice likely to relapse. The United Nations attaches great importance to ensuring that action on the environment is part of the conflict prevention, peacekeeping, and peace building strategies. Because there can be no durable peace if the natural resources that sustain livelihoods and ecosystems are destroyed. On 5th November 2001, the UN General Assembly declared 6th November of each year as the International Day for Prevention of Preventing the Exploitation of the Environment in War and Armed Conflict by Resolution 56 by 4. On 27th May 2016, the United Nations Environment Assembly adopted a resolution UNEP EA2 Resolution 50, which recognized the role of healthy ecosystems and sustainably managed resources in reducing the risk of armed conflict and reaffirmed its strong commitment to the full implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals listed in General Assembly Resolution 70 by 1 entitled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. There are various partnerships like EU-UN Partnership on Land and Natural Resource Conflicts, 6 United Nations agencies and departments, UNEP, UNDP, UN Habitat, PBSO, DPA, and DISA, coordinated by the UN Framework Team for Preventive Action, has partnered with the European Union, EU, to help countries identify, prevent, and transform tensions over natural resource as part of conflict prevention and peace building programs. The Environmental Law Institute, ELI, United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, and the Universities of Tokyo and McGill initiated a global research program to collect lessons learned and good practices on managing natural resources during post-conflict peace building. This 4-year research project has yielded more than 150 peer-reviewed cases, studies by over 230 scholars, practitioners, and decision makers from 55 countries. This represents the most significant collection to date of experiences, analyses, and lessons in managing natural resources to support post-conflict peace building. UN Partnership on Women and Natural Resources in Peace Building Settings, the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP, the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Empowerment of Women, UN Women, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and the United Nations Peace Building Support Office, PBSO, have established a partnership to collaborate on improving the understanding of the complex relationships between women and natural resources in country. Natural resource management together in support of peace building. The first outcome of the collaboration is a joint policy report. Today, we are also commemorating various other events. We'll look at one by one. Today is commemorated as Chhat Puja in India. Kartik Chhat Puja is a religious event and spiritual event observed in the Indian month Kartika, taking place in October and November. This year it takes place from 7th November to 10th November. It is a 4-day ancient Hindu festival dedicated to the sun god, Lord Surya or Surya Narayan. Kartika Chat is actually second half of the celebration, as the first one, Chait Chat, takes place early on during April and May. Kartik Chat Puja comes to a close with Usha Adhya, the day when people break their 36-hour long fast, during which they don't consume water or food. To conclude, they offer Bhyaniya Argya to the rising sun. The festival is celebrated in states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Eastern Uttar Pradesh, and country of Nepal with pomp and glory, along with many states and also across the world by the Hindu diaspora. It is believed that the religious rituals of Chat Puja date back to ancient times, since traces of it are mentioned in Vedas. The Rig Veda, the oldest text of the Vedic Sanskrit hymns, features chants adulating Lord Surya and similar customs. The festivity also finds a reference in the Mahabharata, a Sanskrit epic poem in which Draupadi is described observing the same traditional rituals. Said poem states that Draupadi and Pandavas, the rulers of Indraprastha, nowadays Delhi, perform rituals of Chat Puja as per the guidance of noble sage Daumya. By adulating Lord Surya, Draupadi came out of all her troubles and additionally assisted the Pandavas in regaining their lost kingdom. The scientific history of Chat Puja also dates back to Vedic times. The ancient rishis used this method to remain alive without needing to eat, obtaining energy directly from sunlight. All of this, of course, is done through the rituals of Chat Puja. The story of Lord Rama is another instance that displays the significance of Chat Puja. It is believed that Lord Rama and Mata Sita kept fast together during Kartik Mas and offered puja to Lord Surya at the time of their coronation in Shukla Paksha. Since then, Chat Puja has become an essential and traditional festival in the Hindu religion. Nahake is the first day on which devotees have to take a dip in the holy river and prepare prasad. Lohanda and Karna, the fast takes place for 36 hours, and after the time has passed, devotees break the fast by consuming prasad. On third day, Sandhya Argya, devotees get together by the river alongside with family and friends, and in the evening, when the sun sets, offer Sandhya Argya and return home. Usha Argya, in the morning, devotees gather together again at the bank of the river until the sun rises and offer Vihaniya Argya to the sun god. During Kartik Chat Puja, the kind of prasad cooked is special, made using varieties of grains, fruits, spices, and various local products. The festival is dedicated to Lord Surya, the sun god. Believers thank him for bringing into existence of all of mankind, for helping their loved ones, and is a day of thanksgiving and also expressing gratitude to the Lord Sun or God Sun. So the puja festival is also performed to seek blessings from Lord Surya to live longer, be healthy, and prosper all through life. Is a perfect opportunity to say your prayers, and seek the blessings. The fact that devotees generally pray at the river bank during sunrise or sunset is beneficial for them, since solar energy has the lowest level of ultraviolet radiation through these times. Moreover, the traditional festival showers you with positivity and helps in detoxifying your mind, soul, and body. Today is also commemorated as Huggy Bear Day in US. You are not advised to go out and embrace real bears on this day. It will be exceedingly risky and might not end well. Hug a Bear Day was designed to raise awareness about the advantage of hugging. We all need hugs. Hugging can make us feel warm, comforted, and most importantly, loved. National Hug a Bear Day is the ideal day time to give big hug to your loved ones and your adorable teddy bears. Today is also commemorated as National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day in US. Is an opportunity to celebrate Sumter's combination of chocolate and almonds. Nearly 40% of all world's almonds end up in some form of chocolate, most often a candy bar. The pairing is one of the oldest known recipes using chocolate, while National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds is celebrated on November 7th, is sponsored by the National Confectioners Association. It's primarily an online celebration involving dark chocolate and almond lovers. Today is also commemorated as National Cancer Awareness Day in India, which is observed on November 7th. This day highlights the significance of increased awareness about cancer prevention and early detection for the general public. The National Cancer Control Program was initiated in 1975 to provide cancer treatment facilities in the country. In India, nearly 1.1 million new cases are being reported annually. Two-thirds of cancer cases are diagnosed at an advanced stage, reducing patterns, chances of survival. Various programs have been initiated to increase research on the prevention and early detection of cancer. Harshvardhan launched a state level of cancer control, encouraging early detection and research into curing cancer. National Cancer Awareness Day also encourages people to report to government hospitals, CGHS, and municipal clinics for a free screening. Informed booklets are also circulated to generate awareness on how to avoid getting cancer and to look for signs of early symptoms. In 1975, the National Cancer Control Program was initiated to provide cancer treatment facilities in India. The program was modified in 1984 to 85 to provide thrust to prevention and early detection of cancer. National Cancer Awareness Day is observed on 7th November to coincide with the birth anniversary of the Nobel Prize winning scientist Madame Curie, born in Warsaw, Poland in 1867. Marie Curie is remembered for her discovery of radium and polonium with her huge contribution to the fight against cancer. Her work led to the development of nuclear energy and radiotherapy for the treatment of cancer. In India, nearly 1.1 million new cases are being reported annually. It is estimated that one woman dies of cervical cancer every 8 minutes in India. Tobacco smoked and smokeless use accounted for 317,928 deaths in men and women in 2018. Cancers of the overall activity and the lungs account for over 25% of cancer deaths in males, and cancer of breast and oral cavity account for 25% cancers in females. Today, Dr. Harshvardhan advises that if detected early, cancer could be treated at a fraction of the cost that is incurred. When diagnosed at an advanced stage, its mortality rate is also lowered substantially if people report for screening when the earliest symptoms are manifested. Today is also commemorated as National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day in US. Lymphoma is one of the most common forms of canine cancer. And when our furry friends are suffering from this disease, it's good to know that there are resources out there to keep us informed. National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day is celebrated and commemorated on November 7th. Is a great way to honor our dogs. Recognizing National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day is a good place to start. This day reminds us to stay vigilant and check our dogs regularly so that we can potentially head off any problems before they rise. The archaeological record suggests that the dogs and humans were first buried together about 14,700 years ago. Modern studies suggest that the modern dog diverged from its wolf ancestral line about 27,000 years ago. The first veterinary college is established in Lyon, France by Claude Bourgain in 1762. The non-profit American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is organized in New York City, 1866. Trainer Terry Simmons' dog Greville battles canine lymphoma, inspiring Simmons to start Clear Canine Lymphoma Education Awareness and Research. Educate yourself and your family about which dogs are more prone to canine lymphoma. What are some of the symptoms? There are answers to these questions, and in the honor of this date, ask yourself and ask family members with research. Your pooch probably doesn't like the veterinarian, although he probably loves the car ride, but you owe it to your dog to schedule regular visits to the vet to keep him or her in tip top shape. There are plenty of wise old dogs out there, many of them suffering from various ailments, that needs a good, safe, and comfortable home to see out their remaining days. If you can, please think about adopting an older dog. Keep an eye out for enlarged lymph nodes, lethargy, loss of appetite, weakness, or weight loss, which are the symptoms of lymphoma. There are more than 30 types of canine lymphoma. Lymphomas commonly affect liver, spleen, and bone marrow. Canine lymphomas and human non-Hodgkin's lymphomas are almost indistinguishable under a microscope. There are similarities. The treatment is a chemotherapy is the most effective therapy for canine lymphoma. Dogs are part of family. They are not just our pets. In fact, many of us don't even like to call them like our dogs are members of our family. As such, deserve all the love and attention we can give them. Making sure our dogs are healthy reminds us to do the same for ourselves and the rest of our families. Regular checkups and easy to do in-home examinations make for a healthy, happy life. We love our dogs and there is nothing we wouldn't not do for them. But amazingly, the love we feel for them pales in comparison to how they feel about us. We must make sure that they are worthy of their love. Today is also commemorated as National Cashback Day in US, which is observed on the first Thursday of November every year. This year it falls on November 7th. Shoppers eagerly look forward to an entire day of exclusive cashback offers, bringing endless opportunities for each of us to indulge in a little retail therapy. A plethora of smart deals ensure you save every time you spend, whether you are shopping for essentials, holiday gifts, or something for yourself. In 2020, the event was such a success that it was extended for an additional 24 hours. So take a good long look at your wish and start planning. Today is also commemorated as National Men Make Dinner Day in US. We are all about empowerment in whatever forms it takes. That especially true on first Thursday in November. November 7th this year for National Men Make Dinner Day. So if you identify as a man, then throw on an apron, sharpen those knife skills, and create incredible evening meals for yourself, your friends, or your family. Despite gender roles becoming less rigid in America, there are still many men who are not taught to cook and don't take the initiative or confidence to enter the kitchen and create a meal for themselves or a loved one. This day is all about giving men the strength to get in and whip up something nice. Today is also commemorated as National Programmatic Advertising Day in US on November 7th. In September 2019, Adelphic, a banned subscription-based self-service platform for cross-channel programmatic advertising, announced the first National Programmatic Advertising Day. Perhaps you are unsure what programmatic advertising is. Programmatic advertising is essentially buying and selling internet display space using algorithmic software. It is a sophisticated technique to position advertising that leverages traffic data and online display targeting to create impressions at scale, resulting in a higher return on investment for marketers and exceptional outcomes for both SMEs and large brands. The website Hotwired receives credit for kickstarting the digital advertising revolution. It debuted the world's first ad banner on October 27, 1990. AT&T purchased this banner space to market its latest technology, which was incredibly effective. Because the method proved so successful, advertisers received numerous requests. As a result, the first ad servers were established in 1996 to satisfy advertisers' insatiable urge to post banner ads online. DoubleClick was maybe the original ad server, and it still serves to advertise today. However, between 1998 and 2000, the first ad networks began to appear. Meanwhile, as an ad market became more saturated, interactive banners joined the race in 2004, bringing Flash, JavaScript, and video ads to the mix. Finally, in 2007, the advertising business took on the form we know so well now. The development of ad exchanges allowed for the automation of ad sales and purchases. Many ad exchange business pioneered the concept of programmatic between 2007 and 2010, resulting in the growth of DSP, SSP, and other RTB-based technologies. The media buying process has altered dramatically since 2010. Rich media and video commercials have virtually dominated the ad business. In 2016, the estimated amount spent on the programmatic display ads was $20.41 million. The marketing world has changed dramatically over the last decade as new trends emerge and industry pioneers fade away. DoubleClick purchased by Google in 2008 is one example. Today is also commemorated as National Retinol Day in US. ROC Skincare founded this event on October 25, 2021. Retinol is a vitamin A derivative that aids in skin removal and helps to reduce indications of aging, such as lines and wrinkles, sagging skin, and uneven tone and texture. It's also one of the most thoroughly researched substances. Retinol is widely known as the anti-aging gold standard. Dermatologists frequently promote retinol and praise it for its skin transforming properties. Year after year, experts boost the efficiency of this famous skincare component. Today is also commemorated as Notary Public Day in US, which is celebrated on November 7th and was first observed in 1975 to recognize the service of notaries to national and international commerce. Involvement of notaries brings legitimacy to an agreement. Notaries are trusted public officials who perform several critical tasks like signing of documents and the attestation of the identity of signing parties. Today is also commemorated as Project Management Day in US. International Project Management Day is celebrated annually on the first Thursday of November, and it's all about appreciating the important role project managers play in our organizations. This year it falls on November 7th. Without project managers, the huge projects companies take on will be frankly impossible to achieve. Leverne Johnson and Laurie Milavin on the International Institute for Learning, IIL, created this day to give project managers the spotlight and appreciation they deserve. During board meetings, directors and other important members of an organization gather around to toss ideas. These ideas often turn into small to large scale projects funded by companies and investors. These projects take weeks, months, and sometimes even years to accomplish with the help of several resources and competent teamwork. Who does the board look to help manage this possible crisis? None other than project managers. Project managers are the professionals that help keep our project goals and objects in check. These are individuals who manage our projects and the others that are working on them. They achieve all the desired goals within the time, scope, and budget of the project using their amazing communication, organizational, leadership, problem solving, and other management skills. Project management, as a discipline, originated from the engineering industry in the 1950s. Before that, large projects were often handled by the engineers themselves, using ad hoc approaches like Gantt charts and other informal techniques. The development of the critical path method, CPM, and program evaluation and review techniques, PERT, led to the start of new era and the streamlining of a project management as a display on its own. And almost 2 decades later, the Project Management Institute was established in the US. Over time, several approaches and types of project management has been developed, such as project lifecycle and lean project management. Most of these approaches can be applied across the given industry, while some are more efficient in particular industries. International Project Management Day was created in 2004, spearheaded by Leverne Johnson and Laurie Milavin and the entire team of the International Institute for Learning, IIL, to highlight the hard work of project managers and appreciate their management efforts. This week is also commemorated as International Games Week, celebrated from 7 to 30, 2024, is when communities worldwide can connect with their libraries through various types of games. The first libraries were created 5,000 years ago. They mark the beginning of the history. Libraries have evolved over the years as a repository of knowledge and information, from brick and mortar to living on the World Wide Web. Games played during the period range from trivia games and tabletop games, Dungeons and Dragons, to board games, chess, and video games, Call on Duty. The history of International Games Week is the history of libraries, since the event is held yearly. In them, the library has constantly changed over millennia, from antiquity and Renaissance to the Enlightenment era and modern public libraries. Today is also commemorated as National Book Award Week from November 7th to 13th. It focuses on America's future authors, books, and literature. In general, the National Book Award is set of annual literary awards in the United States. At last ceremony of the annual National Book Award in November, the National Book Foundation presents the National Book Award and 2 Lifetime Achievements Awards to the authors. Books for the National Book Award are nominated by publishers only, but participants in the discussion may require specific nominations from publishers. Right now, technology is trying to displace the print world, and the number of readers is declining. However, Americans are still reading both digital and printed books. Indeed, absolutely all writers and readers are waiting for the National Book Award week. Everyone wants to know who will dictate the fate of American literature. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in today's commemorations. We request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form. which has been raised in the form of polls before you leave the platform. See you all tomorrow with the same joining link with different commemorations. Take care. Good night.